Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels with our Mono Red Fling combo deck. Before we get into the games, I just want to tell you how much I really want to show you this deck. Videos for it will be coming out on Sunday. I've been playing it all day because it's probably my favourite deck of all time at the moment. And I just built it yesterday. It's pretty sweet. It's the combo deck that I spoke of, and it'll be coming out on Sunday. So, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's amazing. But anyway, let's get into the game, shall we? I'll see you there. Alright, we're in. One lander with a Renegade map. I think we can take this. We can actually literally cast everything in our hand with this one, so it's going to be like Affinity all over again. Alright, mountain into Renegade map. That'll get us our second mountain so that we can hit a servo schematic next turn, which will put a servo on the battlefield and put a little pressure on the board as well. You never know, if our opponent doesn't have a turn one play, we might actually get him for one. That'd be nice. Evolving Wilds, who knows. What are they grabbing? A Plains. Alright, cool. That's... seems like it might be okay for us. We get another land anyway, which is alright. We want to be around 4 or 5 lands and never see any more from that point forward. So I'm not upset with drawing a land there, but I would have rather had a combo piece like a Reckless Fireweaver or something like that. Because this could have been 2 damage then, but beggars can't be choosers. See what our opponent's doing. Must be a multicolored deck if they're using Evolving Wilds. Red, white, vehicles then. I have seen nothing but vehicles over the past couple of days. It's actually infuriating. Alright, Goblin fodder. Oh, Dragon fodder, sorry. Makes 2 goblins. That's fair enough. And there's a Fireweaver. Turn late, but better late than ever. Let's get down a Implement of Combustion. Deal 1 damage to our opponent. And then we'll pass the turn. I don't want to swing a servo into our opponent's goblins because he's not going to be attacking him with his since we've got our Fireweaver on the board. So next turn we can Smuggler's Copter and Implement, which will allow us to get into 3 over the top as well as doing 2 damage from the Fireweaver. Abbot of Geralkeep. Okay. Red-white aggro of some sort. He's got an Erosis champion. Yeah. Might be like Borosaurus that's using dragon fodder for no reason. Still in pretty low ranks though, so we do get the new player jank, which is always fun to look at. Not necessarily the most competitive. Well, we do have 4 lands, so we're actually going to be able to play everything in our entire hand. One of you guys mentioned Lupine Prototype for an improvement to this deck, and considering that turn 4 we've got no cards in hand and we're dealing a fair amount of damage, I'm not actually against that in the slightest. That is a lot of damage. If we had Fling into our dude, we'd have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 15 points of damage to fling at our opponent if we got our Ravenous Intruder. That's the name of it. Couldn't think of it for a moment there. Sticks Infectious Bloodlust on the Abbot of Geralkeep, so it gives it +2/+2 and haste, I think. Yeah. But it has to attack each combat. It's going to be a 4/2 next turn. I'm not going to block. We want to get in with our Smuggler's Copter and try find the correct cards for our combo, essentially. So if this is a dead card, we're going to loot it away with a Copter. It's not a dead card, but I'd rather get a better combo piece. Let's crew up with our servo. Fireweaver can still block the goblin tokens. And we're going to loot this away. I think we've got enough artifacts on the board that we don't need free artifacts anymore. We just need to find Fling and Ravenous Intruder. And there's Ravenous Intruder. I think we're going to hold on to it though. Mostly because if our opponent has removal, they're going to have instant speed removal if we draw into Fling. Which is all we're looking for now, because we do have lethal on board as soon as we find the Fling. If our Intruder survives, which in these colours is quite likely. Fiery Impulse. on our servo token. Okay. It's an extra 2 power off the board. Still got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. But there goes the Fireweaver as well. We weren't going to block with it. We're just looking for Fling, but we're going to have to play our Intruder now to get Smuggler's Copter to come down and do its thing. Unfortunately. And that is a lot of damage. 8 power. Takes us down to 7. We're going to need something good off the top. It's a Crumbling Vestige. We can win if we get a Fling off the top, but I think we lose if we don't. Unfortunately. Is there an argument for cracking our implements now? We'll be drawing 3 cards. We loot away with Smuggler's Copter. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do here. We're going to have to go for it or lose, essentially. Sack the implement. Get a land. Sack the implement. Get another land. Nah, it's not looking good. Sack the implement. Get another implement. So we'll play the implement. Gets us a redraw because we still haven't made our land drop. So we can still afford a Fling. And we still have a loot with the Smuggler's Copter as well. Renegade Map. This is the last one. Crew up Smuggler's Copter. We need a Fling off the top or we're dead. It's as simple as that. Pretty much anyway. We can sack the schematic to make a servo, but we've gone all in at this point, so... onward. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Unfortunately. Let's dump a mountain. Yeah. Can't come back from this, really. Our opponent is at 10. So they're not far off, but at the same time, we're going to have to go Renegade Map. Play the Ether Hub. And we're going to have to pass the turn. We get to sack the schematic to block the Abbot, but if he has removal for it, we're just dead. Really unfortunate. We got plenty of draws there, we just didn't find it. Okay. Sack schematic in response to make a servo. We die to burn. Does our opponent have it? No. Alright, we live another turn. We can still win through a Fling here, I think, if he doesn't play a creature. Because we can go 3, 5, 10, Fling. We even have the white mana, actually, to go for victory. But we don't have the mana. P and Kira Nala, so we're not getting in through combat damage. And there's an implement. Okay. So we're gonna have to go implement. Sack the implement. Get a free redraw. It's another Renegade Map. That'll do it. That'll do it. He's just going to block with a Thopter token. There's no reason why he shouldn't. We could go up to 5, 7, 9. Yeah, we just don't have the... power. Maybe Smuggler's Copter's going to get something that I can't think of off the top. Let's loot away. Yes. Pia's Revolution won't do it. It's too late for that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Can we? Onward! He didn't block. But that's all we can do. So we don't have the mana to do anything else. We got him to 4, but we died. That sucks. There's 3 flings in our deck and we should have found one. We really should have. We got pretty deep into our deck as well. They're just towards the bottom, and if that happens, it's just down to RNGs. And just did not favour us today. Oh well, there's always next game. Alright, I'll see you in the next match. Alrighty then, we have 4 lands in hand, Key to the City, 2 implements. It's alright, but doesn't have any of our pieces in it. 1 lander has all of our pieces in it, but we need to hit lands and we're a 19 land deck, so we're going to have to go with this one. It does have a Renegade map in though, so it's technically a 2 land hand in that sense, which is fine. And it has a Fireweaver on turn 2 as well, so we can implement. So we're back on curve. I'm fairly confident with this hand. We have one of our 2 combo pieces. We just need to find the Fling to throw it at our opponent when we're ready. Which, as you can remember from last game, doesn't always happen. But that is the nature of a combo deck when you have a restricted number of cards for each type. Fortunately, you are uncommon. I don't want to run too many Flings though. I feel that if I run 4, they'll be dead more often than not. I don't ever want to see more than 1 Fling the entire game. Which is why I went for 3, but maybe I just have to grin and bear it and just actually go for 4 Flings to make sure that it happens. Ravenous Intruder. Alright, okay. That's the thing. Let's just go with Servo Schematic, I think. It's the most mana efficient play. Deals 2 damage to our opponent. Same as the implements would, but we might find that we draw a land next turn and then we want to go Intruder and implement. Past the turn, we're not getting through his life gain charades. It looks like that is exactly what it is. Black-white life drain. Which I do believe, with the addition of a few zombies in this game, it's getting significantly better. There's even an artifact that gains you life every single turn for 1 mana, I think, so yeah, I think life drain's actually quite well positioned. Still definitely not like tier 1, but who cares about tier 1, right? Let's go implement and implement again. With the onward, it means that if we hit our land drops, and we can in fact get to 5 mana before we find our Fling, that is lethal already. But gonna have to find them first, and life gain is gonna be a problem. It's pretty much our nightmare scenario. So our opponent makes us lose a life and gains 1. Gets to put a counter on this lady. Forgot you put it on anyone, actually. I thought it was just her. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Alright. Gonna get in, and we're just gonna block with our Fireweaver. Even if he kills it, he's done his job. We have no artifacts to use. Tandem Tactics. Got a card out of his hand. Sure. Gains a little bit of life. This is actually just a game over scenario as this deck. There's not a chance in how we're beating it, especially on 2 lands, and I bet we don't draw 1. Oh, we do. Awesome. That's the thing. Alright. If our opponent taps out entirely, we can go 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 22. If our opponent doesn't play a creature next turn and they attack with everything, we win. So that's a thing. You also have to not gain life as well, which I find highly unlikely, but 3 mana for our opponent. See, I doubt if we attacked him with the Intruder that our opponent wouldn't block, even if they did put a creature down. If they are silly enough not to block, though, we can potentially win. And we'll attack him with our Servo as well, just for Blessed Alliance, because there's not a chance in hell he's not running it. Just gets in for 4. Your opponent fears for their life. We are down to 10. So Fling would be nice. Or a Smuggler's Copter. Guess that'll have to do. So we could go in with the Intruder. Our opponent blocks. If they don't block, they lose. We have a backup Intruder as well, so maybe we do attack in like so. See if they block. They don't block. Servo schematic. Let's give our creatures a nice pumping. For 5. 6, 7. 8, 9. Double its power. We don't kill them, but we get pretty damn close. Take them to 1. Play an Inventor's Fair and a Bowmat Courier. Pass the turn. Not bad. Opponent goes to 2. Takes us to 9. It's a shame we just didn't have more mana, to be honest. Solemn Offering. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. This kills a Bowmat Courier. Okay. Gains a little bit more life. There's no reason to sack it there. There's absolutely no value whatsoever. Our opponent's willing to take the risk. No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We take 6. Might be able to win through an implement unless they've got Fatal Push in hand. So, implement. Sack the implement. Can Legend Rule our Inventor's Fair for an extra mana, but that doesn't get us anywhere. We're just going to have to Victory the Ravenous Intruder. We die to Fatal Push, or we win right now. And... wow, really? Seriously? Jesus Christ, alright. We win. Woo! Opponent got really greedy there, and they paid the price. So, you know, we shouldn't have won that at all. If our opponent just left a creature back, they'd have won, but they didn't, so we win. What can you say? Alright, let's go on to another game, guys. I'll see you there. Okay, we have turn 2 Fireweaver and lots and lots and lots of implements and renegade maps. I think this is good enough. We're on the draw as well, so we get to draw something off the top of our deck, which might be quite a lovely surprise. Who knows? Our opponent is on a black something, probably. Mono black is not a very popular colour. There's our Fling. Wish we'd have seen you last game. But, what can you do? Right, I think we'll go Renegade map so we can get another card out of our deck. Don't want to flood out. I think it's better than dealing 1 damage. Just making sure that we don't hit lands as often. Because that is probably how we lost last game. So we ended up sacking our implements and getting 3 land draws in a row. When a single Fling would have won it for us. But what can you do? So it looks like vampires. So this guy can discard a card and make himself into a 3/1. Yeah. Another implement. It's not too bad, actually. Fireweaver coming down. And we might as well crack this right now so that we get our mountain out of the deck. Reduce the odds of drawing into 1 next turn, and then we can play 3 implements for 3 damage, which is going to be pretty sweet. Most of them are the off-color implements, which is less than ideal, but it's not going to be a problem, most likely. They are, for the most part, they're only in here for the secondary ability and not for the actual sackable part of it. Because Ravenous Intruder sacks it for free, and then you can get these guys to cantrip then. What would be nice would be a Foundry Inspector, because then all of these are free and we can actually empty our hand out almost entirely into one go. I'm not going to block, because he just discards in response to kill our Fireweaver. And I'd like a little bit of value. Our opponent could discard Twins of Mora's State. I was going to say they could discard a Fiery Temper or something like that to kill it anyway. But I think that was just a chance we had to take. Down to 17. Opponent has a fair bit of power on the board now, so we're going to have to work fast. We're going to have to get lucky on our top decks, and that is not one of them. Although Inventor's Fair does gain us a little bit of life, so I guess that's fine. Deal 1 damage. Play another implement. Deal another damage. And another implement. Deal another damage. We only have one sackable one at the moment because we don't have our ether hubs, so we can only sack the Implement of Combustion if that's something we want to consider. We're taking 6 this turn by the looks of things, so we're probably down to 11. Ravenous Intruder gets us pretty close to where we want to be. Because we can sack all of our implements once we play Ravenous Intruder. We still have 2 mana left open to Fling, if that's a possibility for us. I'm not sure. Our opponent looks like he's going to go discard again. It's another vampire, a 4-1 this time. Bloodman Vampire. This one gets counters whenever it deals combat damage to a player. If memory serves. Yep. Alright, 6 damage. Gonna have to take it. You're not discarding again, are you? Because it will kill this thing. I think your opponent realises that. Right, we're on the back foot. Hopefully we can draw into something good here. We go up to 12 thanks to our Inventor's Fair, and it is a Servo Schematic, which is a good blocker for the Vampire, I suppose. Let's go with the Servo Schematic. We can play the implement, and we can even sack the other implement to draw a card as well. So our Fireweaver's done his job. I'm pretty sure at 14 we go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, we've got enough artifacts on the board now for lethal. See what our opponent wants to do. Might have to sack this implement though, because we are running against the clock, so we're going to have to get a little bit lucky. And Intruder coming down can actually just sack all of these implements to... Oh dear, that's a problem. This guy discards to give all of the vampires +1/+1, so... Taking 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Minimum. If he's got a Fiery Temper, we just die to that. So I'm going to have to force him to have an answer here. Well, to discard a card anyway. But at least this guy doesn't get in and doesn't deal any combat damage to us. +2/+2 and trample on this guy. Not dead to that though, are we? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If he discards, we're dead. Yep. Let's find out what our last draw was. Ping you down to 13. If it was a Ravenous Intruder, I'm going to cry. It wasn't. Alright. Fair enough. That's game. Vampires, when they just go off, you know they go crazy. Not much you can do. We had lethal yet again. We just didn't draw into our combo. Well, you win some, you lose some. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe for some more Magic Duels content. There is a new video every single day for the next week. So if you are interested in Magic Duels content, then this is the perfect place to be. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon as well right next to the subscription button, and it'll notify you when all of those videos go up on the channel. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye bye.